Have you ever wondered what the end of times will look like? What mysteries are still waiting to be unveiled? And how everything we know could change in an instant? The book of Revelation offers us a thrilling glimpse into what's coming. A monumental showdown between the forces of good and evil, unparalleled catastrophes, and God's ultimate victory. But beware. What you're about to discover goes far beyond what you might expect. Stick with us until the end, because this journey through Revelation will challenge and inspire you in ways you never imagined. The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. Who are they and what do they represent? The book of Revelation is one of the most intriguing and mysterious parts of the Bible, and within it, we find the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. These symbolic figures have fascinated generations with their powerful descriptions and what they represent for humanity. But who are these horsemen? What do they really mean? Let's dive deep into this mystery and uncover the secrets behind them. The first horseman, described in Revelation 6 verse 2, rides a white horse and is often interpreted as a symbol of conquest or victory. He carries a bow, and a crown is given to him, which suggests dominion and power. Some believe this horseman represents a period of expansion or the spread of ideologies, while others see him as a representation of the Antichrist or false peace. The white horse can symbolize both righteousness and deceit, making this figure both complex and deeply impactful. The second horseman rides a fiery red horse, symbolizing war and bloodshed, Revelation 6 verse 4. He is granted the power to take peace from the earth, and with a great sword, he brings conflict and destruction. This figure is often seen as the embodiment of warfare, strife, and the violence that plagues humanity. His arrival signals times of chaos, where nations rise against nations, and peace becomes a distant memory. Next comes the third horseman on a black horse, representing famine, Revelation 6 verses 5 to 6. With scales in his hand, he measures out grain and declares the price of basic necessities. This horseman reflects scarcity and the suffering that comes with economic hardship. His presence indicates a time when food becomes scarce, prices soar, and people struggle to survive. The symbolism of the black horse reminds us of the fragility of our world's resources and how easily they can be depleted. Finally, the fourth horseman rides a pale horse, and his name is Death, followed closely by Hades, Revelation 6 verse 8. This horseman represents widespread death from various causes: plague, famine, war, and even wild beasts. His pale color, often associated with sickness or decay, serves as a grim reminder of the mortality of mankind. His arrival signals the culmination of the devastation brought by the previous horseman, leaving destruction in his wake. Together, the four horsemen paint a chilling picture of the end times, with each one bringing a new level of suffering and turmoil to the world. They serve as both a warning and a prophecy of what is to come. While their exact interpretation varies, the message they carry is clear. Humanity will face trials of immense proportions as the world draws closer to the final judgment. The imagery of the four horsemen has had a profound influence on both religious and secular thought. They represent the forces that shape human history: conquest, war, famine, and death. Each one brings a unique challenge, reminding us of the frailty of human existence and the inevitability of the trials that lie ahead. But the story doesn't end with destruction. Revelation also promises hope and redemption for those who stay faithful. The four horsemen may be harbingers of doom, but they are also part of a greater plan that ultimately leads to renewal and the triumph of good over evil. Their role in the narrative of the end times serves as a reminder that even in the darkest moments, faith can lead to salvation. As we reflect on the Four Horsemen, it's essential to remember that their arrival is not meant to bring fear, but to inspire preparation and vigilance. The trials they represent are not arbitrary but part of a divine plan, urging believers to remain steadfast in their faith. The horseman's journey through the pages of Revelation is a call to be spiritually ready for whatever challenges may come, knowing that God's ultimate victory is assured. The four horsemen symbolize more than just the apocalypse. They are a reflection of humanity's ongoing struggles and the hope that, despite these challenges, there is a path to redemption through faith. As we face our own trials in life, we can take comfort in knowing that God's plan is unfolding, and those who hold fast to their beliefs will find peace and salvation in the end. If you're finding these insights valuable and thought-provoking, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with your friends. Let us know in the comments how this message resonates with you. The signs of the end times. What is happening now? The idea of the end times has been a topic of both fascination and fear for centuries. As the world moves through unprecedented times, many people are asking, are these the signs that the Bible spoke of? From natural disasters to political turmoil, the events around us seem to align with what is written in biblical prophecy. But what exactly are these signs, and what should we be looking for? One of the key signs mentioned in the Bible is the increase in natural disasters. Earthquakes, hurricanes, and floods have become more frequent and devastating, leading many to believe that we are witnessing the birth pains spoken of in Matthew 24 verses 7 to 8. This passage foretells wars, famines, and natural catastrophes as indicators of the beginning of the end. As we watch these events unfold, it's hard not to wonder if we are closer to the final days. Wars and rumors of wars are another significant sign. Today, we see conflict across the globe, with tensions rising between nations. Matthew 24 verse 6 tells us that we will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but that we should not be alarmed, for these things must happen before the end comes. While war has been a constant throughout history, the scale and frequency of modern conflicts make it feel like we are inching ever closer to the final battle. Famine and economic collapse are also critical indicators. In recent years, we've witnessed global food shortages, economic instability, and poverty affecting millions of people worldwide. Revelation 6 verse 6 speaks of a time when basic necessities will become so scarce that people will struggle to afford even the essentials. As food prices rise and economies falter, it becomes increasingly clear that these prophecies are coming to pass. Another sign of the end times is the persecution of Christians. Matthew 24 verses 9 to 10 predicts that believers will be hated, persecuted, and even killed for their faith. Across the world today, we see increasing hostility towards Christianity. From social marginalization to outright violence, many believers are facing challenges like never before. This persecution is a stark reminder that the world is moving towards the fulfillment of biblical prophecy. The moral decay of society is another powerful indicator. 2 Timothy 3 verses 1 to 5 describes a world where people are lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy. This description feels eerily familiar in today's culture, where selfishness, greed, and immorality are often celebrated. As society drifts further from biblical values, we can see the fulfillment of these prophecies right before our eyes. One of the most fascinating signs is the technological advancements that align with prophecy. Revelation speaks of a time when the whole world will witness certain events, something that would have been impossible in ancient times. However, with modern technology and the rise of global communication, we now have the ability to witness events happening across the world in real time. This technological leap seems to set the stage for the prophecies of Revelation to come true. The rise of false prophets and deceivers is another significant sign. Matthew 24 verse 24 warns us that false messiahs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. In today's world, we are bombarded with false teachings and deceptive leaders who draw people away from the truth of the gospel. These individuals often claim to have divine knowledge or power, but their message is contrary to what the Bible teaches. The restoration of Israel as a nation is a crucial prophecy fulfilled in modern times. In 1948, Israel was officially recognized as a state, which many believe to be the fulfillment of biblical prophecy. Isaiah 66 verse 8 speaks of a nation being born in a day, and the rebirth of Israel is seen as a key event in the timeline of the end times. The focus on Israel in global politics continues to play a significant role in the unfolding of these prophecies. Signs in the heavens are also prophesied to signal the end times. Luke 21 verse 25 mentions that there will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. And today, we see unusual celestial phenomena such as blood moons, solar eclipses, and astrological alignments that align with biblical prophecy. These cosmic signs serve as reminders that God's plan is unfolding, and the return of Christ may be closer than we think. The rise of globalism and a push for a one-world government is another significant sign. Revelation 13 verses 7 to 8 speaks of a time when all nations will be united under one ruler, and the world will worship the beast. Today, we see an increasing push for global unity, with organizations and leaders advocating for a centralized global government. This move towards globalism is seen by many as a precursor to the reign of the Antichrist. As we look around at the state of the world today, it is impossible to ignore the signs of the end times. Whether through natural disasters, wars, or societal decay, the events foretold in the Bible are happening right before our eyes. While the future may seem uncertain, we can take comfort in knowing that God is in control, and His plan is unfolding exactly as He said it would. If these insights have resonated with you and opened your eyes to the signs around us, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with others. Let us know in the comments how you're preparing for these times. The mystery of the seals, revelations that are about to unfold. The book of Revelation holds many secrets, but one of the most significant and mysterious elements is the opening of the 7 seals. These seals, each broken by the Lamb, release a series of catastrophic events that lead to the ultimate judgment of the earth. But what exactly are these seals, and what do they mean for us today? Let's explore the profound significance behind each seal and what they reveal about the future of humanity. The first seal unleashes a conqueror, riding a white horse, as seen in Revelation 6 verses 1 to 2. This figure is given a crown and a bow, symbolizing conquest and victory. Some interpret this horseman as a force of military or political dominance, while others see it as a representation of deception or false peace. The breaking of this seal signifies the beginning of global unrest as the world begins to shift towards chaos. The second seal brings forth a red horse, symbolizing war, Revelation 6 verses 3 to 4. The rider is granted the power to take peace from the earth, and with a great sword, he brings violence and conflict across the globe. This seal reflects the growing tensions and conflicts between nations, wars that have the potential to spiral out of control and engulf the entire world. As the second seal is broken, we witness the rise of global warfare and unrest. The third seal opens to reveal a black horse, representing famine, Revelation 6 verses 5 to 6. The rider holds a pair of scales, and a voice declares the cost of food, indicating scarcity and economic collapse. This seal symbolizes the global consequences of war and unrest, where resources become scarce and prices rise to unsustainable levels. As the world faces economic downturns, food shortages, and inflation, this seal's prophecy feels eerily close to reality. The fourth seal releases a pale horse, whose rider is death, followed by Hades, Revelation 6 verses 7 to 8. This horseman is given authority to kill by sword, famine, plague, and wild beasts. The breaking of this seal represents widespread devastation, as the world is consumed by disease, violence, and destruction. The grim nature of this seal reminds us of the fragility of life and the inevitable suffering that comes with the end times. The fifth seal shifts focus, revealing the souls of those who have been martyred for their faith, Revelation 6 verses 9 to 11. These souls cry out for justice, asking how long it will be until their blood is avenged. This seal reflects the persecution of believers and the endurance of those who remain faithful despite immense suffering. It also reminds us of the promise that God will ultimately bring justice to those who have suffered for His name. The sixth seal brings a dramatic shift in the heavens and the earth, Revelation 6 verses 12 to 14. As this seal is broken, there is a great earthquake. The sun turns black, the moon becomes like blood, and stars fall from the sky. Mountains and islands are moved from their places, creating a scene of utter devastation. This cosmic upheaval signals the beginning of God's judgment on the earth and the end of life as we know it. The seventh seal, when opened, brings silence in heaven for about half an hour, Revelation 8 verse 1. This silence is a profound moment of pause before the final judgments begin. It symbolizes the gravity of what is about to unfold and the anticipation of the full wrath of God being poured out on the earth. This seal marks the beginning of the final phase of the end times, where the full judgment and redemption of the world will take place. Each of these seals represents a critical moment in the unfolding of God's divine plan. As we watch the world today, it's hard not to see parallels between the events prophesied in Revelation and what we are experiencing in our time. While these seals may bring fear to many, they also serve as a reminder that God is in control and that His ultimate plan is for redemption and renewal. If you are finding this journey through Revelation as eye-opening as I am, make sure to subscribe to our channel, like this video, and share it with those who are also seeking the truth. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on the seals and how they resonate with you today. The final battle between good and evil, the meaning of the Great Tribulation. The Great Tribulation is one of the most dramatic and intense periods described in the Bible, representing the final showdown between the forces of good and evil. As the culmination of all the events in Revelation, this period of intense suffering and divine judgment will precede the ultimate victory of God over the forces of darkness. But what exactly happens during this time? And how does it impact believers and non-believers alike? The Great Tribulation begins after the breaking of the seventh seal, unleashing a series of catastrophic events known as the seven trumpets and seven bowls of God's wrath. These events mark the beginning of God's final judgment on the earth, with unparalleled disasters affecting every corner of the globe. Revelation 8 verse 7 speaks of the first trumpet, where hail and fire mixed with blood are thrown upon the earth, burning a third of the trees and all the green grass. This is only the beginning of the trials that humanity will face during this period. As the trumpets continue to sound, the intensity of the judgments increases. The second trumpet brings the destruction of a third of the sea, turning it to blood and killing much of the marine life. Revelation 8 verses 8 to 9. With each new trumpet, the devastation grows, bringing famine, disease, and darkness across the earth. The tribulation is not only physical but spiritual, as demonic forces are unleashed to torment those who have rejected God. The Antichrist rises to power during the Great Tribulation, deceiving many with false promises of peace and security. 2 Thessalonians 2 verses 3 to 4 describes the Antichrist as the man of lawlessness, who will exalt himself above all that is worshipped. He will demand worship from the people of the earth, and those who refuse will face severe persecution. The mark of the beast, described in Revelation 13 verses 16 to 17, will be imposed upon the world, and those who do not accept it will be unable to buy or sell, further intensifying the suffering of believers. However, despite the immense trials, the Great Tribulation is also a time of great spiritual awakening. Many will come to faith in God during this period, recognizing the truth of the gospel and rejecting the lies of the Antichrist. Revelation 7 verses 9 to 14 speaks of a great multitude from every nation, tribe, and tongue, who will turn to God and be saved during this time. Their faith will come at a great cost, as many will face martyrdom for their beliefs. As the tribulation nears its climax, the seventh trumpet sounds, signaling the final judgment of God and the return of Christ. Revelation 11 verse 15 declares, "The kingdom of the world has become the kingdom of our Lord and of his Christ, and he will reign forever and ever." This marks the beginning of the end for the forces of evil, as God prepares to cast down Satan, the Antichrist, and all who follow them. The final battle, known as Armageddon, is the ultimate confrontation between the forces of good and evil. Revelation 16 verse 16 describes the gathering of the kings of the earth to a place called Armageddon, where they will make their final stand against God. But their efforts will be in vain, as Jesus Christ returns with the armies of heaven to defeat them. Revelation 19 verses 11 to 16 depicts Christ riding on a white horse, leading the charge against the forces of darkness, clothed in a robe dipped in blood and with a sword coming out of his mouth to strike down the nations. This final battle represents the triumph of good over evil, the fulfillment of God's promise to restore justice and righteousness to the world. Satan, the Antichrist, and their followers will be cast into the lake of fire, and the earth will be renewed as the New Jerusalem descends from heaven. Revelation 21 verses 1 to 4 speaks of a new heaven and a new earth, where God will dwell with his people, wiping away every tear, and death, mourning, and pain will be no more. For believers, the Great Tribulation is not a time of fear, but of hope. It is the final stage before the return of Christ and the establishment of his eternal kingdom. Though the suffering will be great, the reward will be far greater. As Jesus said in Matthew 24 verse 13, "But the one who endures to the end will be saved." The tribulation serves as a refining fire, purifying the faithful and preparing them for the glorious reign of Christ. As we come to the end of this incredible journey through the book of Revelation, one thing is clear: we are living in times of great significance, and the signs are all around us. The mysteries we've uncovered point to a future where God's ultimate plan will unfold, and the choice we make today will determine our place in that story. Are you prepared for what's to come? Now is the time to strengthen your faith, stand firm, and trust in God's promises. If this message has stirred something in your heart, don't hesitate. Subscribe to our channel right now. Stay connected, be informed, and join a community of believers who are seeking the truth together. Don't miss out on the next revelation that could change your life forever. Hit the subscribe button, like the video, and share it with others who need to hear this powerful message.